Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we're bringing you a gameplay of Token Terror's Battlegrounds.
Yes, sir.
Which is a game that I actually did a preview on a year and a half, 2 years ago?
Oh, more than 2 years ago. We ran the campaign in 2020, and it's in 2022 now.
So baby little Quackalope was covering this back in the day.
Because I saw your greatness.
I had an absolute blast with this back in the day. I thought the minis were super cool. We'll talk about them in just a second. And now you've actually come up to show this off. You're working on your next Kickstarter project called Black Mold. We're going to have other coverage of it, none of which is sponsored. We just invited you over.
Yep.
We said, hey,
I'm stoked to be here.
drive how many hours?
6 hours and change.
He was speeding. Drive 8 hours from Baltimore
Yeah.
to come visit us, spend about 24 hours filming as much content as possible. That was my offer. You took me up on it.
Had to.
And so now we're bringing you some gameplay. So this is available.
Yes. This is available at tokenterrors.com, and to give you a brief overview of what Token Terrors has to offer, this is a 1 versus 1 semi-abstract skirmish game where you're going to draft an army of 10 mini monsters into a bag, shake them up, populate the board very quickly, utilize your faction-specific token talents to outmaneuver, outwit, and outfight your opponent in a battle to the death. And in today's gameplay, what we're actually going to be featuring is something that not a lot of people have covered. In fact, nobody have covered yet, because we offer this cool light legacy feature in our game called the Terrible Tactics and Grudge cards. So in the back of our rulebook, there are a series of challenges. As you meet them, coming up against different win conditions where you need to have specific units still surviving on the board after you've won a battle. As you complete these different objectives, you will open the sealed envelope with the corresponding insignia and add a new ability to your favorite pairing of factions. In my case, I am running my top favorite, which is the soldiers and the flying machines with their nifty tactic called Field Command, where I get a ton of zone control and a ton of movement. We're also going to be using a gruesome grudge card. The flying machines and the wyverns have a battle of territories happening in the sky, and when they attack each other, they do it with much more fervor and hatred. So we're going to see when these battles commence, who can get the upper hand using the grudges.
That means we've been friends and we've been head-to-head multiple times with this, to the point where we've triggered that card, and now our factions are just squabbling even more.
Yeah, exactly. And specifically with the grudges, that's actually 100% correct, because the condition to unlock these cards is play 3 games where these two things fight each other.
Sure.
Jesse is going to be utilizing probably almost my equal favorite build, which is Death from Above with Big Bad Bird Bait. So these two abilities are utilized when pairing the Goblins with the Wyverns, and this is going to give him the ability to drop units in and deal a bunch of damage, and also control the board by breaking the rule of reinforcing on the edge and instead reinforcing next to any unit that is not a Wyvern.
Yeah. For the record, in case you don't know already, I don't know which videos are coming out in which order, but this is John DeCampos. He runs Terrible Games.
Yep.
You're the creator of Terrible Games. You're the crafter of, and your catchphrase is Terrible Games.
They're actually pretty good.
Something like that. You had a better one yesterday.
Turns out they're not so terrible.
Yeah, Terrible Games. Turns out they're not that bad.
Yeah.
Turns out they're not that bad. The thing that I liked so much about Token Terrors was twofold. First off, we'll talk about the minis in a second, but second off, I like a light little connected abstract with really powerful asymmetric players, right? This is the game that takes like chess, checkers, those type of war, skirmish grid-based games that people are familiar with, and then starts mixing it up with opportunities to customize my own faction abilities, different troop alignment, so that actual battlefield placement and adjacency starts to matter.
Yes.
And then we escalate it even farther with some of these cards that you unlock throughout the course of play, depending on who has driven in with this with you the most.
Yeah. What I like to tell people who are interested in this game, and I've had highly ranked state champion chess players play this. I've had lifelong Warhammer players play this, and I myself am a longtime Magic player.
Yep.
What we're combining in this experience is the zone control dudes on a map of Warhammer, the 2 or 3 turns ahead mindset of chess, and the flavor-driven mechanism of Magic the Gathering, and squishing it into a 20 to 30 minute experience.
Which is cool. The other thing, these tokens are super cool. If you are a fan of miniatures and you play an RPG, you play Magic, you play anything that needs tokens, for me these would be D&D style grab bag things. These are dice-sized and self-contained little token pieces that run elves. We have shields, we have goblins, we have zombies, we have various different orcs and different types of creatures. We have the wyverns. But look at this. This just fits right in here. I can shake it up without ever being worried about damaging a single thing.
Correct.
And then immediately pop these out. I'm working on some other videos on some other channels that might talk about these more sometime in the future. But they're very neat. They're very neat. All right. Besides the point, let's dive into the game. Let's show people what we're doing. He's gonna hold my hand a little bit throughout the course of play, just because he's let's say maybe more skilled than I am at this.
Probably.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to undermine your victory.
You are greatly skilled. No, I mean,
you see what I'm doing. You realize if I win, it's a glowing endorsement. And if
Absolutely.
you win, it's just embarrassing because really you're the most skilled player anyway. So there's no win for you.
But here's the thing. I actually do win when I lose because that means that Jesse is clicking. He's having the aha moments that I love to see when people come to this game for the first time or they're fresh on this game. Because while it has sort of a fun, lighthearted, almost childish appearance, the skill ceiling in this game is actually quite high.
So it looks like you're going to be going first.
Yes, sir.
Because you got the highest roll. Go ahead and walk me through what your turn is and what we can actually do here.
So here's what I'm going to do. At the top of each turn, I have 3 commands. I must use them all. So I'm going to select one unit under my control and command it 3 times. In this case, I am going to activate this flying machine and do move, completing a dash, which will earn me a surge point. Now, surge are additional commands that I accrue over my turn that I can spend when I see fit. These max out at 6, and there are 2 ways to earn them. You can earn them by completing a dash, which I just did, or the other thing I'm about to do, I will rest this unit.
Turn your butt towards me.
Yep. I will earn a 3rd surge, but now I forfeit the ability to evade a range attack. And that's actually just going to be my turn.
Okay.
I'm just going to bank a couple surge, and then I'm going to throw the ball into your court and see what you do. Because I know that your wyverns don't have any group movement, so you're not going to be able to muster 3.
They're all not going to be able to march forward.
No.
However, my wyverns do have the ability to do a thing called take flight, which allows me to move this wyvern exactly 3 spaces.
This is true.
Which could be interesting and could be powerful. And then my goblins, if they land in the right location, can slaughter you.
Yes, but to be clear, these terrible tactics are not currently active.
Yeah,
because
they're not.
In order to use them, you must control the terrible tactics tile. The way you do this is threefold. You can occupy the space, which you claim and hold the tactics. You can just simply pass over it, which you will take the tactics, but if your opponent passes over or occupies it, they take it away from you. You can kill 2 enemy units in the same turn and slaughter tactics away from your opponent. Or you can bribe for tactics. Spend 4 commands, and tactics are yours. But this is only provided that it is not occupied by your opponent. This is if the tile is free. So if Jesse drops a goblin on here, it is his. I can't bribe, I can't slaughter, I can't do anything about it. I have to get him off the tile in order to take over tactics.
Okay, so I get 3 full activations.
You have 1 activation with 3 commands.
1 activation with 3 commands. So I get to interact with one creature, and I have to use 3 commands to do so.
Yes, although your enable ability with the goblins does allow you to
a little bit of manipulation.
do some stuff with a 2nd unit.
So if I go ahead and activate a special token talent with my bird here, and I do a take flight, move a wyvern exactly 3 spaces, I can go 1, 2, 3.
Tactics are now yours.
Tactics are now mine.
Yes.
So this flips, it's pointed in my direction, it's activated. But now I still have 2 activations with this. However, I can't go back through and I can't do another take flight.
You cannot.
Because I can only do 1.
You can only do each talent once per turn.
I have a rush, which is next time this wyvern battles this turn, it has a range of 3, which is nice, but maybe not
Not going to help you right now.
the thing I'm looking for. I could back up, however, though.
Yes, you absolutely could.
Which would leave that zone open for you to take. However, I'm gonna back up for 1. Back up for 1. If I turn my butt towards you,
I'm gonna kill you.
I get. Yeah, I know. That's the issue. I'm gonna back up for 2, and just see if you happen to leave that zone alone.
Okay.
I don't know that I've made any real significant progress.
You've given me some hard choices to
You've got to possibly move forward, and right now you're just waiting for me as well.
I'm biding my time.
Okay. All right.
So I'm gonna hit my refresh step at the top of my turn and wake up my my formerly rested unit. Now, the thing to understand about your refresh step is there's a thing where you are going to turn tokens 90 degrees to the right to indicate they have a persistent effect. Those things can remain in that state indefinitely. When you hit your refresh step, you can refresh or not refresh as much as you want. But a resting unit, I'm gonna refresh immediately. I am then going to go move, swarm.
Okay.
Take over this. Those are gone for you.
These flip.
Now
And swarm means you moved as a group.
I have to move every flying machine I control one space each, including my active unit and all other units. It can actually be kind of puzzly at times. So I now taken over tactics. In order to do my tactic, I have to have a soldier active. So I can't do my tactic quite yet, but I have done move and swarm. I will now sure shot battle your wyvern and reduce my surge count to 2.
Okay.
So by spending an additional command on a basic range attack, I can make it so Jesse's evasion outcome has to be a 6 instead of a 4, 5, 6.
Which is not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay.
That goes in your cemetery, my good man.
Now, because this pops over into my cemetery, we should probably
yes,
go
I
ahead.
get to do my thing.
The skies of Terra of the Wyvern's domain. From their perch in the azure cliffs where they reign, none would test them, for a few would try, and those that might typically die. That was until the humans created a mechanized menace that the Wyverns hated. The endless patrols of machines often would leave the birds displaced, disrupted, and shook. Territorial as the Wyverns are, the flying machines outnumbered them by far. The flying machines know not why they are hunted by feathery foes who are mighty affronted, but they just keep buzzing till all lands are checked. When they search near the Wyverns, they often end up wrecked. And he has taken a wyvern out of the sky, which means you get the benefit of
Steel Squadron. Whenever a flying machine destroys a wyvern, you may issue up to 3 move commands among all friendly flying machines, and I will do this. Boom. Bam. Then I will rest my active unit and earn a surge.
It's an insanely defensive position.
Thank you, sir. I am controlling the middle.
Yeah, it's a bad spot for me to be in, actually.
Now, normally you would have a 3-spread column of death with wyverns, but I have diminished your threat. In Token Terrors, every unit has a threat of 1, which is both their attack and defense. But when units of the same faction are in adjacently aligned spaces, they give each other a boost. So right now, my center unit, which is resting, granted, cannot evade, but has a threat of 3. The 2 boys on his flank are both threat 2. So, I then pass turn.
It's on to me. So, I'm not going to be able to take back that zone, sadly. I'm going to go ahead and activate my wyvern again. I'm going to do a move flight action, move this wyvern exactly 3 spaces. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Which are going to move up there.
Would you like any hand holding?
Sure. Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
So, from here, you can move 1 space over, activate Rush, stretching your reach to 3, enrage that unit, turning it into a 3 because he has an adjacent buddy,
I see.
And deal damage unabated because I cannot evade.
And pop through the middle. So what I was doing at that moment was moving up here, and then I was going to do a simple attack forward, which would also have taken out 1.
Yes, both take out 1, but one of them I cannot evade because this guy's rested.
One of them you would not be able to evade, so it'd be a little bit more of a sure shot.
But is this what I wanted?
I mean, no, I don't think you're being that. I didn't see a pathway towards enraging was the pathway that I didn't see towards taking out the middle one.
Gotcha.
So I will follow your advice. So I'm going to do a step over. I'm going to be able to do a rush. So the next time the wyvern battles this turn, it has a range of 3, which will allow me to ping the center. And I currently have an attack value of 2 because I have 2 adjacent to each other.
Yeah.
Then, like you said, I can go ahead and do it in range. Give your token +1 threat once per turn, which means I would really do this.
Yes.
And then I would, upon the actual execution of the attack,
but you have
would
to
go
spend
ahead and
your
fire.
surge
And that
0.
cycles to 0.
I cannot attempt an evasion because I have my back to you and I lose my flying machine.
Yeah. Now, if I had done my other move, you would have had a roll success, unless I didn't spend anything.
50-50
you would have a roll
shot.
Success of 3 up or something, right?
4 or higher.
4 or higher. Yeah. So,
and now,
guaranteed.
Now your reinforcement step happens. So you're going to drop a unit from your reserves on any available edge space.
Now, does that happen before or after?
Oh, you killed the flying machine.
Yeah.
So first you get to issue take flight to any wyvern on the board.
Which allows me to move a wyvern exactly 3 spaces. I don't really want to end up next to you. It's actually not as advantageous to me right now.
Well, unless you're trying to get creative on how you end up and how you resolve your reinforcement step.
Yeah, because
I can't just drop a unit right there, but if you're trying to set something up where you move 3, like this guy goes 1, 2, 3, and you set him up on the edge, then you can drop a second unit here and rest that guy and get a surge, and now you have a buffer to stop you from getting attacked.
Yeah, but I don't get to do a rest. I don't have any more actions, right?
A rest isn't an action. Rest is basically like your end step in Magic. It's something you can optionally choose to do. It doesn't cost a command.
I'll move down this way to 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I get to spawn one,
Yes.
which I will do here. And then you said I could rest this one, or I could rest either of them.
You can rest your active unit.
I could rest my active unit, which was this one right here.
Yeah.
This was my active unit. So I could go ahead and flip him around, which does make him vulnerable, but he does have a defense level of 2 right now, and I'm at least farther away from your soldiers. And this pops back up to 1. We'll see. You might be able to pop me immediately, but...
Well, I have my ability active right now. I have my Terra.
That's true. What does that do?
On your turn with a friendly soldier active, if you have mastery your tactics, you may issue this tactic at a cost of 3 commands. All friendly soldiers and flying machines may be moved up to 2 spaces each. I may rest any number of friendly soldiers. So here's what's about to happen.
Oh, no.
I'm going to issue this unit. I'm going to have this be my active unit.
Yep.
And I'm going to go 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then rest both of these boys and gain 2 surge points.
Pops you up to 5. That's really powerful.
Then I reinforce another soldier right there, and I maintain control of the terrible tactics tile. That is my turn.
It's a good card.
It costs 3 commands.
I understand that, but you also are sitting pretty at 5 extra additional command, which that could be the resource that starts like destroying me.
For sure. But I also did not advance the attack. All of your placement goes completely unchanged. So you're set up however you want to do your turn. And that's sort of the give and take of this game, is you're going to try and control surge, you're going to try and have an efficient turn, but you also have to be mindful of how much control over the board you're giving your opponent.
Now, does my range of 3 attack diagonally?
It does not.
Okay.
There is one. The elves have an ability that lets them fire diagonally, but typically speaking, a base common range attack, you can it's 2 spaces away in a straight line as long as it's unobstructed, and you can give it an upgraded version of a sure shot by spending additional command, lowering my evasion to a 6 versus a 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and refresh this bird. I'm going to go ahead and must do a move of 3. I don't quite have the positioning I want. This one refreshes no matter what, though, right? It doesn't have to be the active one to refresh.
Nope. Yeah, you can refresh any number of units at the top turn.
I will step this one over. I can't pop you. I can enrage, which allows me to do 2 damage, but I'll be 1 too far away from hitting.
Move, rush, enrage, battle, go back down to 0 surge.
Yeah. It might be, I mean, that might be the thing I have to do. The question is, do I want these guys over here adjacent, or do I want to move one back closer to the center position? I think I want to move one back closer this way, because it's going to be a cost of 2 either way. So, move 2, cycle this down, which is going to allow me to enrage, which is going to cycle that up to strength of, 2, once I actually do a battle. Battle will ping you.
Move, enrage, battle.
Yep.
I'm going to deal 2 damage back. They both die.
Okay. All right. I'm okay with that. I've got to whittle you away at some point. I don't get a refresh.
Yeah,
now I do.
You now reinforce.
Okay.
Not out of there.
Not out of here.
Reserves. This is exactly why we have.
There's one in there. But there's one in there.
That's exactly why we have the back.
I want them out. I'm going to reinforce to that position, and I did get to kill your thing, so I get to move another one by 3, and I'm actually going to...
No, that's nice. I like that. Also good. That makes sense.
I'm going to push my position forward.
No, that's solid. That's solid.
Yeah.
Because now what you've created is a threat, too, that I know you can reach out 3 spaces, so I can't leave this guy here, really, and I don't have enough power to really take him out.
And he's not going to get stronger.
Right. The flying machines need power and numbers in order to be effective. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh all my units. I already have 5, so this is basically rendered pointless at this point. 1 more surge isn't going to do much for me. I am going to... I hate this. I'm going to dash my flying machine to here, earning a 6 surge.
Wow, okay.
Then I'm going to...
start spending them?
No, I'm going to I'm going to end my turn and reinforce.
Wow, okay. Interesting.
I passed turn. I still control tactics.
I don't love you controlling tactics, but... it is what it must be. I don't have a lot of surge. So I think I'm gonna play a little bit safer right now. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. I can't get home. I want to get home. I want to be more safe.
You gotta flip these over.
I know. I don't know if that's that's the best play right now, because if I leave myself just stranded out there,
I have 6 surge.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want that from you so bad. I want that from you so bad, but it doesn't help you right now.
Because it mostly generates surge.
You're not going to be able to use it. You've already gotten the most out of it. So the question is, how do I start positioning myself for a powerful next turn? I'm going to activate this guy. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3.
That does not constitute a dash because you cannot backtrack in the previous. But you can.
1, 2, 3.
There you go.
I need this. I need more surge.
So then go move, and then rest, and that's 2 surge.
Yeah, I was also looking at enable, which allowed me to command this guy by 2, because then I could I rest them both, or I couldn't rest them both?
No, you cannot rest them. Currently, we don't have
1, 2, 3. Spin around there. Let's go ahead and rest him. I'll pop up to 2, which feels stronger than I was in.
All right, here we go. I'm going to actually do this. I'm going to spend all 3 of my starting commands to do field command. This is going to be my active unit.
Because it repositions you.
Yep, this is going to be my active unit. So I'm going to go boom, boom.
Yep, move of force is super strong. That's 3 armies up there.
Then I'm going to go boom, 1. I'll actually park them right there.
Okay.
Then I'm going to...
Who's your active unit?
My middle guy.
Middle guy, okay.
So I did all that. I'm going to forego resting any of these guys.
Okay.
I am then going to spend a surge to do phalanx on this guy. No. I'm going to move him 1, go down to 5. Then I'm going to issue the token talent march. Move up to 2 other soldiers 2 spaces each. Bam, bam. Then I'm go down to 4, and then I'll go down to 3 and issue phalanx on my active unit. While ready this way, this unit gets +1 threat for every friendly surrounding soldier. So he is a 3 with a +2, so that is now a 5 on the corner. I am controlling the tactics.
5 on a corner is brutal.
Baller status.
Yeah.
That's my turn.
That's bad news.
Here's an insider tip. The flying machines are pointless when I have 2 or fewer on the board. So if you can eliminate them, you can basically neuter their effectiveness.
I hate that. I hate the ground control you have right now.
Take tactics.
There's not a. I know. There's not a good way for me to get that guy off. He's a value of 5.
But I can't evade right now.
You can't evade, but well, I would need to hit 5 to clear him, or what do I need?
You just have to attack me 5 times.
Oh, I need to do multiple attacks.
The only thing you're limited to issuing once per turn is your token talents and enrage. Everything else you can do as many times as you want.
Interesting. So if I have 3 active and I ping him, I could then. It wouldn't even make sense to enrage.
You don't have to. I can't evade.
It would make sense to do an attack,
2 damage.
An attack,
2 damage.
And then another attack? That's so much.
6 damage.
Attack, 6 damage. I mean,
that's your turn.
I know. Unless I want to spend this. Or if I want to rest. I could turn my butt to you. Does that make any sense at all? Nope, your turn.
Alright. I am going to have this guy be my active unit. I'm going to move.
I feel like you're just squandering my actions.
And then I'm going to issue March to move this guy up.
Yep.
1.
So you got a strength of 2 still there.
That's the end of my starting 3 commands. I am then going to...
Now, this guy's butt should not be facing you.
Enrage battle.
Yeah, which is going to clean me. I hate that. That's the last of my birds, too.
Then I am going to... I'm down to 1. I'm going to stay fresh and reinforce another flying machine. I'm done. I think I messed that up.
I mean, you only messed it up if I can't figure out a way to, if I can't figure a way to clear you.
Let's see what happens.
I mean, I could do a ranged attack, which is not going to ping me back.
Right.
So, that'll take out.
Yeah, because everything does... Yeah. Everything passively retaliates in this game, so provided that you're within their range.
That seems like the obvious thing to do. So I am going to activate this bird. I'm going to do a in range. Or
I can't deal return damage, so you don't have to enrage to keep him alive.
I want to get a sure. I want to do a sure shot. What's that?
So you just spend an additional command.
Okay, so 2 command is going to go ahead and fire forward, which means your roll is to be a 5 or 6, I believe.
Got it.
Okay, so you're cleared off there. Now, I've still got 1 action left with this bird. And I have to use that action? Mm-hmm. I don't want to use that action.
So
I'm going to go ahead and...
You haven't enraged yet? Enrage does burn an action, and one of its multifunction uses is that it also helps you hold position.
Yeah.
Because instead of moving, you can just enrage and leave him there.
Just pause.
But you do forfeit the ability to evade, but you also get the +1 bonus to threat. So
Does rush last from turn to turn?
it does not. It says the next time this wyvern battles this turn.
Enrage, you let me hold position. I could turn my butt around if I didn't think you were gonna
You could also
move in on me.
You could enrage rest also because
That's what I'm saying,
It constitutes you using a third command.
I think I am gonna do that. I'm gonna enrage, then I'm gonna rest. That'll ping up, and then I actually get to spawn one of my goblins, and I can place down anywhere on the outer border.
Yes.
Or adjacent to my people, or no? Just anywhere on the
anywhere on the edge,
Okay.
including like over here.
Yeah. I don't know if over there is really.
I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying
I'm
for example's sake.
Going. I think honestly, I kind of want to start a phalanx of them moving down that way. Okay. Just backing up. Great.
Yeah. Dash rest.
They're good against each other. They're good with each other.
3. I still control tactics though for the time being. That's my turn.
Okay.
You're winning.
I want the tactics center in the middle though. I want that badly. Or I just want to. There's so much stuff I want. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to. These guys are going to be super annoying super soon.
We shall see.
I'm going to activate this goblin here, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, which is going to cycle me up to 4. And the question is, do I do a turn and rest now? Turn my butt to you. I don't think so, because you've got enough ranged people there. Although you might be able to kill him anyway, because he's kind of there on his own. No, I'm gonna stay facing forward. If I can roll to survive, I'm gonna keep it.
Great.
Okay.
Refreshing. Activating field command at the top of the turn.
I hate that card.
I'm gonna go move, 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 move.
Backing up. Okay.
Move, 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 move. Rest, rest. Go to 5. Pass the turn.
Sure. I mean, that makes sense.
I'm gonna give myself some room so I can try to do some other things because I really kind of messed up by rushing all those soldiers into the center without a good attack plan.
So I'm gonna activate this bird. I'm gonna do a. You just used your command again, which is good. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a take flight.
Yep.
To cycle up to there. This is gonna spin, giving me access to my abilities for the first time so far. Wyverns may reinforce adjacent to any friendly non-wyvern tokens. I'm really sad that I don't have wyverns left.
You have 2 wyverns, but nothing to reinforce.
Nothing to reinforce.
True.
But then here, if a goblin is adjacent to a wyvern, you may use the wyvern take flight action to move both of them exactly 3 spaces. So now...
And if I may.
Yeah, for sure.
Big bad bird bait. The goblins to date are by far the best riders, but since they can't land, they become angry skydivers. The elves tried and failed to leash the winged terrors, get them to submit, but that was an error. The humans' research is going quite well. It's the wyverns' wildness that they hope to quell. So for the time being, they each try to trap, so they might break a wyvern with a harness and strap. For those who prevail, they may wield nature's rage, but to date, none on Terra have kept these birds caged.
Nice. So I'm now in a position where the next time I activate a wyvern, I kind of want to be adjacent to a goblin because then I can start pushing my entire troop forward.
From above.
Which would be nice because my birds can now start kind of becoming carriers. Although it might leave a goblin out in the middle of nowhere, which means I need to be able to drop down and potentially do like an incite or something like that.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is the 2 or 3 turns ahead mindset kind of stuff I'm talking about, where like you need to figure out when's the, like ideally what you want to try and do is drop a goblin right here and start wrecking house.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and back up 1, 2, and I'm going to turn and rest there. Cycle us up to 5. I don't know if you're going to be able to slaughter me. We'll see.
Here we go.
Okay.
I'm going to activate this flying machine.
Okay.
Surrounding space. I'm going to spend all 3 of my starting commands to do build.
Ooh.
And then rest this boy and go up to 6 and pass turn.
You got more people on the ground.
Yeah, I now have 1 unit breaking the 5-unit limit.
Oh no.
So this is a powerful ability that lets me exceed the 5-token limit, but it costs 3 commands to do. But what I love about it is that it's also sort of this brainless maintenance turn where I don't have to do a ton of pre-planning and strategy. I can just say, all 3 of my commands are spent, I get another unit on the board, I gain a surge, and now I throw the turn back to you. But I also now have a brick of 3s.
I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. That's terrifying.
It's terrible, in fact.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and activate this goblin. He's going to move forward. He's going to spend Enable, which is going to let another goblin perform up to 2 commands. So he's going to move and he's going to enrage. Mm-hmm. Then this goblin here is going to, sadly... No, he can... Yeah, he's going to enrage. Mm-hmm. And then he's going to finish with a rest, which is going to put me up to a 6.
All right. Hitting my refresh step. I'm going to go move, activate march, and pass turn.
Okay. How annoying are those guys going to be?
Oh, and I'll also refresh this unit. Not that it matters too much.
They might be kind of annoying. So I'm going to refresh this guy back up. I'm going to go ahead
Are you leaving that other one enraged?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
that's fine.
He sticks there.
So the other thing about that is that Enable still targets him. It doesn't matter that he's not in the fresh state. He can still be the target of token talents.
Interesting.
So that Enrage buff continues, and you can move him around using Enable.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm actually going to activate this Wyvern, though. Mm-hmm. Take flight. I'm going to move over 1, 2, 3.
I don't like that.
I am then going to go ahead and do I need to do an Enrage. Mm-hmm. So that's my second. Then I'm going to spend 1 of my resources to do a Sure Shot.
And then another one to actually battle.
And I'm going to actually battle. Oh, it's not another one to actually battle because it was flight.
Take flight.
Enrage. Battle. Sure Shot. So it's 1 extra overall.
Big 6 energy coming.
Sweet. I don't think I want to turn my back to you.
It doesn't. My range units are over there. Melee units cannot. There's no evasion with melee. This bird is going to die because my soldier must avenge his brother's death.
Unless the bird decides to move.
Are you ready to eat blade?
Unless the bird decides.
Are you ready to eat blade?
Unless I decide to move away. I don't want to die.
Sword is out. I'm ready.
Or, I mean, I still have resources.
You still have surge. You can do a bunch of stuff.
I can absolutely do a rush for a range of 3, and then a final shot.
You can make that a sure shot attack too.
I could if I wanted. 50-50 odds, or increase the odds to is it a 2 out of 3? 2/3? Don't roll that yet. You calm that hand down.
You take it from 50% to 13%.
Oh, I think that's worth it.
Come on!
Let's just wipe him out. Let's just get him out of the floor.
Oh.
Come on. Yes. That bird is the hero of this story. Now you need to move towards me with your bird, with your wyverns, with your flying machines.
Flying machines. And I'm not going to get any of these bonuses because I have to get through your goblins first.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what's happening. I have 6 surges, all or nothing. I'm going to go move, swarm.
Okay. All of them shift forward. Yep.
Then I'm going...
It's a terrifying force.
Yeah. I'm then going to... So I did move, performance with all 3 of my starting commands. I'm going to... Enrage, Sure Shot, Battle.
Enrage, Sure Shot, Battle. Right at my middle guy?
Yep.
Okay. I've got to get 5 or 6.
No, just a 6.
I've only got a 6?
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was a 5.
Nope.
Pow. Man.
I will stay fresh and end my turn.
Get to reinforce at the end of this.
You do.
I do, yeah. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and activate.
Oh man, here it comes.
If a goblin is adjacent to a wyvern, you may issue the wyvern talent Take Flight, moving both the goblin and the wyvern exactly 3 spaces each. Each must end their movement adjacent to each other. Rest the wyvern.
Can we get the flavor text, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Goblins are gluttons for danger and risk, no stranger to screaming and violent fits. The wyverns, when bored, take wing for the hunt, would never imagine wild goblinoid stunts. When goblins and wyverns cross paths in the wild with feather and talon and pointed tooth smiles, a goblin might leap from a cliff mountainside, then land on a wyvern and go for a ride. With a pinch or a poke or a stab or a twist, the wyvern, when flying, more or less gets the gist. Then goblin descends from above, spear in hand. Why do they jump off? They don't know how to land. Oh, this is gonna be good. Okay, so this is what happens. Activating this goblin. This goblin then does the Take Flight ability. I leap off a cliff, land on top of this wyvern.
You're wilding out.
We're now flying.
You're rodeo
1,
style.
2, how do I get there? 1, 2. Can I not get into that corner? I can't get into that middle yet?
So sort of the easier way to do this is to just move them each 3 spaces a piece and then make sure they end adjacent.
I understand,
Sure.
but I was flying.
I feel you.
flying. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now this guy rests,
Surge.
which is going to give me a surge. Now I'm in a position where I can take, so that was 1 action. Second action is going to be to take a step forward. Then I can do Insight.
That only costs 1 command.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's, at a cost of 1 command.
I have not had the
At a cost
opportunity.
of 1 command.
Yeah, that's great.
You wrote these rules.
I know that, I know. But I haven't had the chance to actually play a lot of these rule sets with people because not any.
You're dead, fool.
Let's go.
You're dead.
Let's go.
I love these extra little. I love these because you didn't have these for the prototype either.
Right.
You talked about them with me though. I like these little twists of
Thank
fate.
you, thank you.
Okay, so sitting here, I'm now in a position where I can spend my 3rd action to Incite. The next time the goblin battles this turn, it gets +1 threat for each surrounding enemy. So
That's a +3 bonus right
it's a
now.
+3 bonus. I'm going to go ahead and spend this to attack.
Where though?
I will attack. I will attack the one directly in front of me.
Just want to raise a point.
Okay.
All melee units, you can spend an additional command to have them do a blindside melee attack where they attack diagonally aligned spaces and do not take return damage.
Oh, sweet. Then this one.
So you
sure.
have to spend another surge, but this guy's gone.
But then I don't have the bonus of.
Now Insight is gone, but
I can do another attack, and I'm already in a pretty good position to go ahead and knock that one out of the sky.
this guy dies, and so does this one.
Okay.
So
All right.
now you are beating me by a.
And I get to reinforce by 1 or 2.
You get to reinforce until you have 5 units on the board.
So reinforce here.
Uh-huh.
And reinforce. I mean, probably. Do we just go do we just knuckle up right in front of you? Just
that is actually the move, and here's why. Because
put my face on your chest.
In order to protect myself and attack at range, I now have to do a more expensive turn.
Yeah.
Because I have to move away from you first.
Because you're going to be destroyed if you attack me from that position.
Exactly.
And you can't afford to lose anyone.
Exactly.
Great.
So I'm going to activate this unit and do Swarm. Sure shot battle.
Sure shot battle, which will, I need a 6. Yep. Just not going to have it. This one will pop off.
I can't rest because you have an instant kill with a Wyvern, so I'm going to remain fresh, earning no surge. I pass turn.
I think I'm still in a pretty darn good position.
Oh yeah, you got me.
Because I'm going to go ahead and activate this again with the Goblin, which is going to pull me 1, 2, 3. Well, actually, how do I want to do this? 1, 2, 3.
Set it up. There you go.
1, 2, 3.
Earn the surge.
Earn the surge from the rest, which the bird's already facing backwards. That's the first action. Second action is a step forward. It's still a little risky.
Why not just blindside right there?
Oh yeah, because I'm
just in range
I'm
blindside.
adjacent.
It lands.
Yeah.
I can't deal return damage.
Yeah, so you're not going to be able to take me out anyway.
And now you have rendered my token talents non-existent because I cannot build and I cannot swarm.
Hey, yeah, those guys need a hive.
They need a hive
to run.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
You gonna get retribution?
I am. I could start to run away, but I think you're kind of covering the board. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move sure shot battle.
Yeah.
Roll for it. You're fresh.
Oh, please let him live. He'd be the goblin hero. He'd be the first guy. He's a bad goblin. Wow.
Then I'm going to spend a surge to move 1,
Yep.
and then enrage battle and 0 out.
I love it.
I don't have. I do have to enrage because you do return damage because you're another rage unit. But because I enrage first, I take 1 damage.
Even
back.
in rest position, I just can't dodge,
evade,
but I still would.
You still return damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna rest.
Yeah, I'm not in a. I mean, we cleared each other off pretty decently.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm in a much stronger. Like, I should be able to take you out.
You just have to be real careful about how you do it.
Yeah, I should be able to take you out. But,
And you're controlling tactics. It's unfortunate those guys are so far apart.
Yeah, that is true. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate Bird. 1, 2, 3.
Is that a dash?
Nope.
Is that rush?
Nope, that's just. That's
Sorry,
just.
take flight.
No.
3 moves.
That's just 3 moves.
Okay.
It's gonna go ahead and give me a little pip.
Yep.
I feel like that's fine. I feel like I'm okay with that.
Sure.
Let's see.
I'm gonna go move.
We're both pipping up.
That's game
For me or for you?
for you.
For me?
Yeah.
I could win now, is what you're saying?
I think so. I'm not gonna tell you how though.
You're under the impression. I mean, I've got 1 pip. My goblin could move forward 2. 1, 2, 3.
You only need to win by a 1.
And then I could hit by 1.
The moment I have nothing in my reserves and nothing on the battlefield,
I mean,
the game.
let's try, tell me if this is what you're thinking. I can activate him,
Yep.
step him over by 2. He does lose his enrage that's already active, but then he can go ahead and activate the move forward by 3.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Then you rest and earn a surge.
With this one,
Yep.
rest and earn a surge, which puts me at 2 surge.
Enrage battle, game over.
Enrage battle.
Good game. Good game.
It's so lovely. It takes you need a little bit of teeth to get into it. You need to be willing to like sit and dig. But once you start getting the nuance of the factions and you start like sewing them together to get these cool combinations, because your squad would be entirely different if I was facing off against the elves and the zombies, or if I was facing off against, like, let's say that we switched, like my wyverns. Like I use my wyverns primary through this. Let's say we switched it out.
But the goblins came through.
They did.
They were huge for big splash.
But I'm saying, like, early on, Wyverns was like my core game strategy. Let's say we switched that out with someone that can shoot diagonal. Let's say I had 2, like, I was sitting here with the flying machines instead. The game is different.
Yeah.
Which is the neat part about how this system works. Cool. That was fun.
For us, what we're excited about is trying to pursue a competitive scene. We're trying to spread the word about this game because we really feel like it has legs, and we've gotten some great feedback. And what we would like to see for the future of this particular IP is that we release a new season of Factions every year. We have season 2 ready in the chamber, ready to go, but we're in the middle of doing our project load for Black Mold.
Yeah.
But when we come
You're
back,
gonna be responsible. You're gonna take steps. You're gonna take steps responsibly.
and we are playtesting. And for anybody interested about this game and some of its development, as far as how the season stretches out, things like power creep, we're very aware of. We spent about 4 years developing the skeleton system that governs how all of these things work, and now we understand that the faction abilities are basically governed to gaining and losing surge and granting a ton of flavor to each faction. So we're doing stuff with ghosts, dragons, mer people, self-exploding myrmidons, all kinds of neat stuff.
Ducks. Just straight duck faction.
Just ducks?
Just.
Why not do a Quackalope?
I mean, it'd be cool.
It's a lot more mystical.
It is more mystical. It's only mystical to us, though.
It could be fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a cryptid set one day.
That'd be cool. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. I'm glad we got a chance to show this off.
Thanks, man.
Super glad you came up to show off all the stuff you're doing.
Dude, thank you.
This has been a fun set of days. And with that, if you've watched to this point, like you should go check out the web. I mean, you just should.
Please do.
Just go check out the website. All right. Bye.